And all emotions originate in the amygdala. The amygdala is a little tiny thing in the back of your brain, in the reptilian portion of your brain. When I say reptilian, I mean that it is the most ancient part of the brain. All moving animals have the reptilian part of their brain. They all have an amygdala. All of them have a fear response. This was my little Pomeranian Mix's mom, and she was like this a lot. She obviously is very scared. What does she look like she might do? One of the things about fear is that when you're afraid, you look directly at the thing that's making you afraid, right? So if there was a great big huge monster standing right behind me and I'm still talking and I don't know that he's there, where are your eyes going to be? More signs of stress or fear could be both. Tail held under, a drop tail, which is just a worried dog straight down. Lick sores means stress on a regular basis. Lip licking, rigid posture, whining, yawning, pacing, and genital checks, where the dog keeps on looking back at its own genitalia to kind of make sure it's all there. Now this is the dog that you saw a picture of in a minute. So this dog is really more fearful of something very specific. And this dog is actually, with regard to your question, this dog can learn. So it's probably not an optimal place for this dog to learn, but it can learn. So fear is the most common cause of aggression in dogs. People don't read the signs well. People think that fearful dogs are dominant. So fear leads to aggression when a dog feels intimidated. That was a really good time to play that video. If the dog feels trapped on territory, being approached by another dog, being approached by a person, or hugging, those are all things that lead to aggression. You can see that this dog is not happy and this hand is approaching him. Would you say he's nervous?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a very, very nervous dog. Would you say he's going to bite? Particularly because of his type, because Mastiffs have a tendency to be highly territory. He might very well decide to bite then.
She don't like this thing. It's a scary thing.
He's so afraid.
Okay, so
that dog is so afraid that he would not investigate the stuffed dog, even though the stuffed dog was on the ground with a calming cap over so he couldn't stare at him. He was so scared.
Now there's a...
It's okay. It's okay? I probably don't.
Ever know anybody who tells you, go ahead and give the dog a treat?
Do it again. Can you do it one?
This is one of our evaluators. This is not just this is not a random guy off the street.
I think I did, but it was flashing.
So, modifying the behavior of fearful or conflicted dogs. Remember that fear is not under the control of the conscious brain. You have to communicate to the dog. You have to communicate what you believe to the dog, and you have to make the dog feel safe. So if I see somebody coming and I'm walking Lukey Poo, and there I am, and I see the guy with his 2 golden retrievers who are very friendly, who run about 50, 100 yards ahead of him. And so he's no way got the dog under control. And he always goes, they're friendly! And I'm like, that's when I really want to say I'm not. That really is. And so I'll just kind of go, hey, Luke, let's go. And we just trot off to the side, and we start going. And we can go fairly rapidly, but not appear to go fairly rapidly, trying to get out of the way. But if I started to run, he would go, there's some, my mom is panicked, so I can't run. Your dog has a tremendous capacity to know what's going on inside in your hormones, what kind of emotions you are feeling. So your physical and mental position must be balanced. So visualization is really important. So you've got a dog that you've got some issues with in home or whatever, and you should be thinking, what will I do if someone knocks on the door? What is the process I'm going to go through? What am I going to do if someone comes towards us right now? Whether it's a verbiage you're going to use, or body language you're going to use, or some kind of motion you're going to take. You need to actually consider the worst case scenario. And finally, there is no such thing as a 100% reliable dog. There's no such thing. I know a lot of people who say, I've got 100% recall. No, you don't. Nobody has 100% recall. When we're perfect, they can be perfect. But as far as I know, there's none of us who's perfect, and there's no dog that's perfect. Or put it this way, they're perfect, all perfect in their own way. All of them. Okay, but I would like to do a consult. This is going to be a pretty short one, obviously. So why don't you tell us about your dog? What's your dog's name?
This is Marty. Marty is from the Caribbean, and the story we're told is that she's the remnants of the British sailors. So the dogs there run free, and they hand off the dogs essentially to tourists who are visiting as puppies. And we first were just going to be a carrier to bring the dog back to an adopter, but then we fell in love, and now here we are.
Oh, another failed foster.
5 years later and going. When people come up to her and want to pet her, she gets very tense. She'll freeze. It's too bad people couldn't see her in the back, because she came in. At first she was very, very nervous, was hiding under me. Mm-hmm. She finally calmed down. And then the woman in the white skirt there got up and started making some noise, and she immediately then hid underneath me.
Okay, so she has sudden environmental change stuff.
Yeah.
So she became comfortable where she was, and she probably liked it that you were in the back.
Yes.
Because she did not have anybody looking at her.
Right.
So right now, there's a lot of people looking at her. You know the old joke about dog trainers, right? If you have a party with 50 dog trainers and one dog, nobody in the party can tell you what any of the other people look like. But they can tell you what the dog was doing the whole time. All right, so she's very fearful. And you said she's a resource guarder. Has she done that a lot? Is that...
No, I think it was just a very high value item.
What are your goals for this dog?
I don't think she'll ever be a Labrador.
Okay. No, she'll never be a Labrador. She doesn't look right for a Labrador.
I've learned, I don't know if this is correct, but someone else taught me to not correct fear-based behavior.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Right. I have not taught her the find it. I'm interested in what context do you use that? If you can anticipate a fearful event, do you then tell them to go find it? When is that a useful behavior?
Well, actually, it's a useful behavior a lot. I mean, when she came towards me, when I looked at her, that's when she snarled, right? And then I looked away and she snarled again. And then I looked at her again and she snarled again. So I think there were about 3 times. Does that sound right? So what you would do is you want to teach the dog that they don't have to look at the thing they're afraid of. So you can use it as a default behavior in that you can say, this is a way to do avoidance. I think I'll leave you with, respect your dog for who she is. If your dog is fearful, respect that. If your dog, whoever she is, accept them and then work with them, but don't expect them to be any kind of miraculous recovery or anything like that with your dog. They're all individuals. That's what makes them so wonderful. It also can make them problematic.